What's going on, my fellow DC Universe and Marvel fans? GCDC here, and today I will be reviewing New 52 Red Lanterns Volumes 1 through 4. It's not totally up to date, however it's really close and close enough. Red Lanterns has one of the best storylines of all time. That's not just coming from me. Going on many different comic websites, you will see the extreme positive feedback coming from everybody who has read them. The reason I get the volumes is because getting every single issue would take up too much room. On the plus side, buying volumes instead of every issue saves you quite a bit of money. On IGN, Red Lanterns was said to have the most exquisite artwork and to be the best seller. I have to agree with this 90%. That other 10% goes another path in my mind. Every volume has somewhat similar yet different artwork. That's because there's at least one or two different artists that work on the pages. You can see quite a difference between the volumes, mainly when you go from Volume 1, Blood and Rage, to Volume 2, Death of the Red Lanterns. I'm not saying the artwork is bad or anything, I'm just saying that I think they should have kept the artwork the same in all volumes. However, it is cool to see the different art types of ideas that these graphic novel artists have to show us. Everything is pretty bright. At times, it can go to a dark emotional color to bring out that idea in you that whatever is going on and what you're reading and analyzing is sinister. The artist gives so much detail in the comic series that it's just breathtaking. You could instantly fall in love with this comic series, even just from the artwork itself. The characters in Red Lanterns are another factor that could keep you really interested as well. Of course, we have the leader of these raging, bloodthirsty, vengeful Red Lanterns, Atrocitus. The development throughout the story of him is quite intriguing. Atrocitus goes from this guy who lost his family and even world to the emotionless police of the universe, also known as the Manhunters, who were made by the Guardians and also were a mistake. This caused Atrocitus to merge the light of the Red Lantern Battery Corps. Later, he becomes aware that vengeance doesn't just revolve around himself. He shares sympathy for his fellow Red Lanterns and becomes more powerful. We have many side characters, such as Zalias Zox, also known as the Ball to some people. We also have Bleez, Scalix, and Ratchet. No, I don't mean Ratchet and Clank Ratchet, nor do I mean Ratchet as in a Ratchet person. Last but not least, we have Rancor, also known as Jack Moore of Earth. A little overview of the story. The story doesn't necessarily have a long-term main story, more like each volume has its own main story to it. I'm only going to explain the moral of the story to each volume. Volume 1, Blood and Rage, is pretty much the story, or stories, behind the main characters. Also, the story of how the Red Lanterns became how they are. Volume 1 would probably be the slowest of the 4 volumes, to me. Volume 2, Death of the Red Lanterns, is about an old enemy of Atrocitus and is back from the dead to get revenge on him. This enemy infects their main battery core, and since their rings get its power from the main battery core, the rings as well are being infected and killing them slowly. They all need to find a solution to stopping their damnation. This one has to be the third to best out of the 4 volumes, I would say. Volume 3, The Second Prophecy, is dealing with the reign of the very first Lantern in the history of the entire universe, Volthoom, who holds the emotional spectrum within himself, much like the famous Green Lantern or sometimes White Lantern Kyle Rayner. All the members of every Lantern Corps, even White and Black, must come together to stop Volthoom. Volume 3, to me, is number 1 out of the 4 volumes. Volume 3 was the longest story, which means it was the biggest graphic novel, and contained the best artwork. Last but not least, Volume 4, Blood Brothers. Blood Brothers has to do with Hal Jordan sending Guy Gardner as a Red Lantern spy down to the homeworld of the Red Lanterns, Yzmal, due to previous threats, that is, from the Red Lanterns. Guy Gardner happens to be a former Red Lantern and warns Hal that he might not come back if he goes back to being a Red Lantern. The main villain in Blood Brothers is Relic, the stealer of all lightsmiths, aka all of the lanterns of every Lantern Corps. And of course, they must defeat him before he can mess with and destroy reality itself. That is his goal. this volume would have to be second best out of the 4. I truly recommend this comic series. If you haven't read it already, definitely check it out. By far the best storyline of all time. Even I think it's better than the Forever Evil. The Forever Evil was really, really good and all, but I still think this one top notches it. If you want to buy every issue, that's totally fine as well. But like me, you can get just all 4 volumes. I know you will love this comic series as I did, and still do. I'm really excited to get volume 5 sometime in December when it comes out. It's going to be called Red Lanterns Volume 5 Red Daughter of Krypton. That title itself gives you the idea of who the main character is, and possibly a villain? Who knows? Knowing this Daughter of Krypton will be a new Red Lantern, she's probably going to be crazy with all her Kryptonian powers as a Red Lantern as well. So we will see how that goes. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video and hope you enjoy New 52 Red Lanterns when you check it out. Tune in next time for my next review, and I'll see you guys soon. Later, dudes.